Hello everyone, it's Paige and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have a very fun video in store for you today. So I posted on my story my handicap, and I did this because this was the first full year that I have kept a handicap in years. So I kept it in junior golf, I kept it in college, because you need to have a handicap to be able to enter certain tournaments. And so I did that. Once I turned professional, I kind of just stopped keeping it because it's not really important anymore. Like, it doesn't really matter. And after I stopped playing competitive golf, which was, as you guys know, very difficult on me mentally, I struggled, I crumbled under the pressure, got so bad where I had the yips off the tee, I would cry before and after rounds. Like, I really just did not enjoy competitive golf. And there's a bunch of reasons why, which we don't need to get into. I just had a lot of baggage, and my self-worth was so tied into the scores that I shot that it really impacted me emotionally. And so after I stopped playing competitive golf, I really just needed a mental reset. I had no desire to practice, to improve, to play golf, to play any sort of type of money games, competitive golf. Like, I wanted nothing to do with it. I didn't even want to keep my score. I didn't keep my score for a very long time. And it got so bad to the point where if I saw someone writing my score down, I didn't care if other people kept their score because it doesn't matter. But if I saw someone writing my score down, I would have like a breakdown. Like, I would cry out on the golf course, but it wasn't pretty. And it took years and years to get to this point. But last year, I kind of had this surge of wanting to play golf, to keep my score, to work on my game. I wanted to practice. I wanted to get better. And so I really committed this last year of trying to improve my swing and improve my golf game and to just enjoy it. And that's what I feel like I was able to do, which is really exciting. And so I finally got my handicap to a plus 3.9, and a ton of people were asking me how I got my handicap there. Also, because I know a lot of people get this confused, a plus handicap is better than scratch. So I am almost 4 shots better than scratch right now. And the game is good, it feels good. So today we're gonna talk about how to improve your game and how to improve your handicap and what it takes to be a scratch golfer or a better than scratch golfer. So let's just get right on into this video. So one thing that has really helped me kind of ignite this passion for the game again is seeking out really good golf instruction. And I'm so lucky that I'm able to work with so many incredible instructors. Most recently, I've worked with Tyler and Jonathan and Vince, and I'll link all their information down below. And they have all helped me in such an amazing way. And I know this is probably a controversial take, but I like working with multiple instructors because it just helps me understand the swing better, and that's something that's really important for my own personal growth as a player and also as an instructor. I feel that I can help you all better if I just have a better grasp on the swing, and also learning different ways to explain certain techniques or feelings. And so by working with a lot of instructors, I feel like I'm able to apply that to my own game and also to help your game. And I know some people say it's better just to stay with one instructor and, just keep the consistency with them. But I personally like the change and like a rotation and like learning new things from different instructors. And so I know that's not maybe the most accessible thing to a lot of people from a time perspective, but also from a financial cost. And so what you can do is, one, you can watch great YouTube golf instructors. I think that is a great way to just gain more knowledge and understanding of the swing. And you can also find pros in your local area that you can try this out on. I think it's important to try different pros to see which one you click with, that understands your game, understands your swing. And that's just something that I've always really loved to do, is I pick up certain things from certain instructors that change my life and blow my mind. And because I feel like every instructor has this one tip that is like groundbreaking and it's their go-to tip. And so I like to learn that from every instructor, and I feel like it's really helped my game. If you're able to get lessons, I 100% think that you should go and get lessons from a great instructor. And if that's just not accessible, then there are so many really great instructors online that you can learn from. Having a practice routine that you can rely on is really important, but remember that you don't need to put in hours and hours and hours. You just need to put in really focused practicing and working on your weaknesses. And so instead of just going out to the driving range and banging golf balls, work on your wedges if you're struggling with that, and especially work on your chipping and putting. If you only have 30 minutes to go and practice, only work on your chipping and putting. It's going to improve your golf game so much. So focus on 100 yards and in, and you'll see massive improvements. One of the biggest keys to getting better is to keep your stats. That way you know what you need to work on. Most people don't work on the things that they're bad at, and so when they're out on the golf course, then they have no idea why they're shooting the scores that they are. So here is a very simple and easy way to keep your stats. Okay, so we have a lovely scorecard here. So I'm going to show you how I keep my stats. I do this really quickly when I'm writing down my score. It really doesn't take any time at all. And then after, when you are putting your score into the handicap system, there is a way that you can also put in your stats, and then it keeps all of your stats there for you. And so what I like to do is on the first row, that's where I'm going to put my score. So I put an S there, or my name, and then that way is where I put my score. So let's just say this first hole is a par 5 and we made a par. On the next row down, I'm going to put an F for fairway. The next row down, I'm going to put a G for green. And then underneath that, I'm going to put a P for putt. And so let's just say we made a par and we hit that fairway. So we're gonna put a little check mark there. We hit the green there and we had our 2 putt for a par. So it's going to look like so. Then we had a par 4 next and we made a birdie. Great. So let's put a 3 there. And then for fairway, we missed the fairway. Oh no. So we're gonna put an X, but then we're gonna put an arrow, or you can do right or left on where you missed it. So you can do an arrow that you missed it left, an arrow that you missed it right, or you can put an L for left or an R for right, just whatever you prefer. And so I like to put an L or an R. So we missed that one left. But luckily we hit the green, so we'll put a check mark there, and we had a 1 putt because we made our birdie. So on the next hole, we made a bogey, unfortunately. So it's a par 3, and we are going to put a 4 there. We didn't hit the green there, so we're going to put an X, and then you're going to put an arrow for long or short, and then you're also gonna put left or right. And so for this one, so you don't want to get it mixed up, I always put arrows for long and short, and then left and right, I write them out. You can always do the arrows left and right, up and down. Really just depends on what you prefer. So we missed that one left, and we also missed that one long. Okay. And then on the next one, we made a par, good for us. We did not hit the fairway. And we missed that one to the right this time. And we did not hit the green because we hit it left, but we got our up and down, so we're going to put a 1 there. And so it's just gonna look like that, and that's how you're gonna keep your stats. And you're gonna start to notice the pattern. So let's say on the next hole, we made a 4, but we missed the fairway and we missed it left. So then when I'm looking back throughout my round and I'm like, oh, well, I missed my driver left multiple times, so that means that I need to work on my driver, or I am not hitting greens because I'm not hitting fairways. And so I'm not setting myself up for success. My putt's great, I am having not that many putts. Well, maybe it's because you didn't hit that many greens. And so you have a lot of one putts. And so it's really a great way to see where your game's at and what you need to work on. You can do sand saves, really you can keep whatever you want, but I highly recommend keeping your stats because you're gonna see where your weaknesses are and where you need to improve. A lot of us don't have a lot of time to be able to be out on the driving range improving our games. And so when you know exactly what you need to work on, you're able to improve it very quickly instead of just banging drivers and you're like, oh, I'm great off the tee, and then why can't I break 90 or why can't I do this? It's because, well, you don't actually practice on anything else that really needs to improve, like your 100 and in, around the greens, your sand saves, your putting, maybe you have a lot of 3 putts, and all of that's really going to add up to a lower handicap, and so keeping your stats is highly important. Another thing that has really helped my golf game is working on my physical fitness and my flexibility. I feel really good physically right now, and it's because I put such a focus on finding a really great routine that works for me and making sure I prioritize stretching. I know so many people, especially men, who aren't able to get in certain positions in their golf swings because they just lack the flexibility to be able to get there. The golf swing is a very weird movement, and you have to have a lot of flexion in your back and your hips and your wrists. And I mean, you're really stressing your body out being able to turn and to get in these positions. And especially when you get older and you wonder why, you lose distance. And this will really help you be able to get in those positions, to get that flexion, to be able to really fire through. So make sure you prioritize your stretching. It is so incredibly important. It only needs to be 10 to 15 minutes per day. It's easy to do at home. You can do this especially in the off season. You just need a little bit of space to be able to do some simple stretches, and from there you'll really see an improvement in your golf game. Another thing has been my fitness routine. This is something that I've kind of been going back and forth on, of finding the perfect balance of weightlifting to Pilates or yoga to cardio, and I feel like I finally have cracked the code here, and that's very exciting. So I've been doing a lot of Legree work, and essentially Legree is Pilates on steroids. So it's a moving table, the Pilates machine, and it is so incredibly challenging. It is the hardest workout that I have ever done in my entire life, and it is so focused on your core work and those little muscles, which I feel like in my swing, that is definitely the muscles that are firing. And I know that so many guys say this is a chick workout and I don't want to do it, but trust me, if you want to improve your golf game, do Pilates, Legree, yoga, anything that's really going to focus in on your core, because that is so important to your golf game. And it's not just for girls, come on, it's just a workout, and it's a fun workout, and it's challenging, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So try that out. I also mix that in with weightlifting, obviously, to make sure that, my muscles are strong and that they'll be strong for a long period of time, because I want to play golf forever. So this will also help that as well. And then I do Stairmaster or incline walking. Obviously, walking is a great way to get yourself ready for when you play rounds of golf on golf courses where there aren't carts available and you have to walk. I know some people will get to a golf course and it's a walking only course, or they encourage walking and you haven't walked that many miles and you just get so tired come, the 14th, 15th, 16th hole. And that comes with just fatigue as well, being able to swing and keep the swing speed up for such a long time. That comes to physical fitness. And so I feel since I've been pushing it there, I've been able to play better golf, and I don't feel like I lag on the back nine as much, because I feel physically fit and I've been putting the work in outside of the golf course, and it's been translating into lower scores. So that has really helped me a lot. One thing that has also really helped my golf game is being happy. And I know that sounds silly, but when I'm in a really good headspace and I feel good, I play better golf. And what I have come to realize is when my body feels good and I'm fueling it correctly, I feel happy, and that helps me play better golf. And it's sometimes really hard because I am constantly traveling, constantly on the road, and I love to cook, but I don't always have the time. And especially when I come back from a trip and I only have 2 days and I don't want to grocery shop, but I still want to have delicious food and not always rely on takeout, because again, I just feel better when I am cooking or I have like a really great meal service. And so I have been relying on Factor, and it's great because it's not just meals or ingredients that you have to like do it yourself, because again, sometimes I just don't have the time. And so they have really good grab and go options like smoothies and small bites. And so I'll grab one of these on the way out and I'll do my workout, or I'll do a quick practice and I come back and I'm easily able to have a delicious protein filled meal. That's another thing too that I've been really focusing on in my life and my fitness journey is protein. I didn't realize how much protein you do have to eat, and that can be stressful to always try to find the correct amount of protein and always make sure that you're fueling your body. And so with Factor, it is really easy to have these meals, and they are so delicious. They're there for you. I know I always have something good that's going to fuel my body. I'll get my protein intake and I'm going to feel so good after. And it just has relieved a lot of stress in my life because I don't have to always be like, I need to go cook, or what take home am I going to do, all of this stuff. It's like, I know that I have really healthy, delicious, high quality meals ready to eat at home. They're never frozen. The meals are never frozen. So, you know, they're always going to be good. So I love Factor. They have been so great, and the food is absolutely delicious. And you know what? I'm actually pretty hungry right now. So we're going to have a sip of this smoothie and we're going to make my meal for the day. Oh, it's so good. So my lunch for the day, I'm going to have my smoothie. But it is the queso fundido and ground beef with cilantro, cauliflower, rice, and roasted peppers. Oh, that sounds so good. So they have a bunch of different options depending on your dietary needs and wants. And so since mine is protein intake, I chose their protein focused meal, and I have been absolutely loving. So this meal, like it's 41 grams of protein. And it's super easy, so all you need to do is go poke, poke, poke. That's my favorite part. I don't have anger issues at all. So we're going to now put this in the microwave. It's only going to take 2 minutes. Sometimes 2 minutes, 30 seconds, depending on your microwave settings, but they have all the instructions on the back here. So if you want to know, then it's right there. So we're gonna put this in. Okay, so my meal is in and I'm so excited to eat it. I've talked about like getting my protein and eating healthier and like how that has helped me feel better, but it's also improved my workouts. I feel like my brain isn't as foggy because I feel like I'm actually fueling my body, and my rounds of golf are better too. I know some people aren't able to eat out there, and I was like that too at times where I was so focused in on what I was doing and I was nervous. I didn't really want to like break up the rhythm by eating. And then by hole 12, your brain's foggy, you're exhausted, you just don't feel good, and so you're out there and you're not fueling your body, and you have to be able to do that. And so with Factor, because they have those small little snacks, you can grab it and go and take it out on the golf course, because sometimes Your girl loves a good glizzy at the turn, but that isn't the best thing sometimes for playing your best golf. It's not the optimal fuel that you need. And so fueling your body with things that are nutritious and delicious is so incredibly important. Now it's time to eat my meal, and we'll chat a little bit more as I'm eating. Lunch is served. I am very excited about this. It's absolutely delicious. I'll link everything down below so you can get your Factor meals to fuel your body and to feel good and have some absolutely delicious food, because this is incredible. This is my favorite one. It tastes like a super healthy cheeseburger. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50 Paige Spiranac to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50 Paige Spiranac at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. One thing that I wanted to mention about handicaps and golf is, I know I'm giving you a ton of like tips and things to do to like shoot lower scores, but you can't, I'm trying to word this the right way. So sometimes you can do all of the right things and you're not going to see the results immediately with golf. And I think that's one of the most important and frustrating parts to remember, is that it will come and you have to be patient. And with golf, you're going to have so many ups and downs. And that's sometimes the hardest part for me to understand, is that with everything else in life, it's if you work really hard, if you do all the right things, you're going to see the results. And with golf, that wasn't always the case. And so I would get really defeated and down on myself because I didn't understand why this was happening, or why I wasn't shooting the scores that I needed to be shooting, because I was doing everything I needed to do and it wasn't working. And so I just want you all to remember that even though you're going to be putting the effort in, and even though you're going to be trying really hard, it might not happen right away. And don't give up on yourself, and don't give up on golf, because it will come around. And also don't put too much pressure on yourself, because that is when things can go wrong, is when you feel like you are doing everything right and you should be seeing these results and they're not coming right away, and you give up before it happens and you start blaming yourself and you get frustrated. And so just believe in yourself, have self-confidence. That's one thing that's really helped my game, is having self-confidence and knowing that I can shoot those scores. When I was playing pro, I had no self-confidence. Everyone was telling me that I wasn't good, and I truly started to believe it. And I've finally gotten to the point, I think it's just maturity that has come with age, but I know I'm a good golfer. I know I can do it, and now I am doing it. And so have belief in yourself, because sometimes with golf, that can be the most important thing. And you can forget everything else, but like having the belief and the confidence in yourself that you can shoot these scores and that you can execute these shots, that is what's going to really help you bring it to the next level. Is not doubting yourself and not questioning if you have the ability to do it. If you put the work and the effort in, have that confidence. You're going to have bad rounds. Everyone has bad rounds. Pros still shooting the 80s, like it happens. So just know that like that good round is right around the corner. You're going to keep improving. You're going to keep getting better, and just keep believing in yourself, because it will happen. And with all that wisdom I just gave you, I should reward myself with an amazing bite of food. And lastly, course management. Most people don't talk about course management enough, and it is such a massive part of the game. You need to be able to think your way around the golf course and play smart golf. The problem is that smart golf is boring golf. You have to be really disciplined thinking your way around a golf course. And I know we always want to like hit our driver and go for everything, fire at every single pin, but that's not smart golf, and you're going to end up making bigger numbers because you're just not thinking your way through the golf course the correct way. And there are times when you need to play aggressive, and I like to think about it in traffic lights, like red, yellow, green. Sometimes when you're on a par 5, it's a green light special and you should go for it in 2. Sometimes it's a little bit dicey. Maybe there's a bunker up there that's maybe 30, 40 yards away. That's a very difficult shot, but you have some room on the left side. That's maybe yellow. Red is there's water in front. It's a 240 yard carry, and if you hit it perfect, it's 240 yards and you'll do it. That's just, you don't need to go for it. You don't need to stress yourself out, and you can make birdie a bunch of different ways, and you want to avoid the big numbers. I also see people all the time be in a very dicey situation where they think that they can pull off this amazing shot and thread it through the trees and hit a little cut, even though they've never hit this shot before. They go for it, hits the branch, back, bounces back, they get fresh in. Before you know it, double and triple is in play. And you could have easily chipped it out, got on the green, and had a putt to save your par. And again, that's maybe not the most fun thing to do, but if you really do want to shoot lower scores, you do have to think about, and you have to play boring, safe golf. You don't always have to hit driver off the tee. You don't always have to go for it. And sometimes just going for the center of the green is the best play. And so I challenge you to do this fun little game that I do, is where I try to play the safest round of golf possible. So that means that I never fire at any pins. I only go with the center of the green, and you're gonna be really surprised with what you shoot. And get a yardage book if they have one available. Think your way through the golf course, know what your strengths are. Maybe you are really great at a 75-yard shot. Like, that is your bread and butter. That's the shot that you count on. Always lay up to a 75-yard shot. Like, that should be the shot that you lay up to. Maybe you're incredible around the greens, then that means you can go for it. So that's why keeping your stats is important, so that way you can apply it to course management. It all comes full circle. That's the thing about golf. It's like every part of your game does have to be kind of in a good spot for you to shoot these scores, but it doesn't mean you have to play perfect golf. It just knows that you have to play to your strengths. You have to know the golf course that you're playing and how to best amplify your game to shoot the lowest scores. Have good short game when your full swing bails you out, and vice versa. And you don't have to be as perfect as you think to shoot low scores. You just have to be thoughtful, and you just have to really think your way around why you're doing it, what you're doing, and it's all about strategy, and obviously, most importantly, having fun out there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be doing more. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, like today's video, subscribe to my channel. I mean, you guys know the deal by now, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.